Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought it'd be fun to share with you guys everything that is in my everyday makeup caboodle. Obsessed with this thing. If you guys don't know, I'm currently in the process of moving. So all of my makeup is packed away, okay? It is packed away and I didn't want to have to keep digging through those like bags, those like bins and things like that. So I just pulled all of my makeup and put it in this caboodle, all the stuff that I love and I'm currently loving and what I use for my everyday makeup routine. And I thought it would be fun if I share all of that with you guys. Really quickly, you guys, before we get into my caboodle, I just want to share this right here with you guys. This is from Rose Forever New York. So they reached out to me and asked me if I would love to pick out one of their beautiful bouquets, and of course I looked at their website and I was like, oh my god, I would love to. I have literally always wanted one of these. These are like those like little rose bouquets that you can get, and this is the one that I picked out. It is so beautiful. So many colors to choose from. I'll have like a little thing on the screen so you guys could check it out and see. Also, Valentine's Day is coming up, so I think this is a really gorgeous gift. I seriously have always wanted one of these. Of course, for the fam, they did give me a code to give to you guys, so you guys could check this out, and if you want to purchase anything, you can save some money on your purchase. I will have the website listed down below in the description as well as the code, but oh my gosh, I cannot wait, okay? I don't know if you guys know this, but black, white, and gold are literally my favorite colors of all time. I love to wear them, like literally me, my aesthetic, I'm obsessed. And for my new living room in my apartment, it's gonna be black and white. So I saw this one and I was like, oh my god, I think this will be a perfect centerpiece for the coffee table. So I'm excited about this. And it also has like a top too, so if you want to cover it to, you know, protect it. I got white, of course, but this is just so pretty, and I thought this would be a really pretty centerpiece to have in the middle of my coffee table. And there's also some other shapes as well if you guys are interested, but all of the information and everything is listed down below. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Rose Forever New York for this gorgeous bouquet. I seriously mean it when I say I've always wanted one of these, and I cannot wait to see how this looks in my new apartment. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's go ahead and start off with what's on the top. So on the top, I have my primers and my foundation and concealers over here. So I do have a lot of newer primers in here. So I have the NYX Plump Right Back Primer Serum. Of course, I have the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. You guys know I love these. You guys have seen me talk about these primers in so many of my recent videos, so I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about them. I also have this right here, which I don't talk about too much on camera, but if you have a lot of discoloration, then this is such a good primer from Makeup Forever. It is the Granniest Reducer Primer. I love it because it does have like an orangey kind of tint to it, which I definitely love. But it's not like your typical color corrector primer. And I usually use this around my mouth because that's where I have the most discoloration, but I love this so much. It's so good. So of course I have to have a mattifying primer in here somewhere. So I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Primer. I love this because it also has SPF in it. So if I forget to put on SPF and by the time I'm doing primer, I remember, I can just add this on for that, you know, that missing SPF that I needed in my routine. So I love having this in here. I also have the Benefit Porefessional Light Primer. You guys know I love this primer a lot. I've talked about it so much recently, and this one is my favorite of all of the Benefit Porefessional primers. Highly recommend this one. Even like trying the mini of this is good too. It's like $13 if you just want to get a feel for it. That's what I did first to see if it was worth me buying the full size for $32, I believe. So yeah, I highly recommend doing that rather than just like taking the plunge on the $30 primer. Lastly, for a face primer, I have the e.l.f. Cookies and Dream Primer. You guys know I have been loving this. I have been talking about this so much in a lot of my videos, and it's such a good primer. I love it. I even have a backup of this because I'm obsessed. This is my favorite putty primer from e.l.f. and I hope that they continue to do more like limited edition kind of scents in their putty primer because I would be so here for that. I would love that. Also have Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in the shade 6.5. Whenever I want to go a little bit more dewy with my makeup, I will pull this and I love it. Love, love, love this. Lastly, for primer, I have the Jaclyn Cosmetics Under Eye Primer. I love this. It's a really great under eye primer. It's really hydrating, especially when I go in with more mattifying foundations. This is really good for that. So for foundations that I have in here, you guys, remember that these are the products that I chose to have in here while all of my makeup is literally packed away. So this is what I'm working with unless I have a new product to kind of, you know, test out. This is the e.l.f. Camo Cc Cream. This has a natural finish and I'm in the shade Deep 530W. This is like the perfect shade for me. So if you feel like we're kind of like foundation twins, this is the shade I recommend definitely trying out because it's so good. You guys know I have to have my favorite drugstore foundation in here, of course. Like, how could I not? The Revlon Color Stay in the shade 600 is my favorite. I love this. Every time I wear this foundation, I get so many compliments. It's like never let me down. It's great for every day. It's great for full coverage looks. Like, it is the best. I love this one. And this is the matte finish one. They have a natural finish, but I love the matte finish. Of course, I have the new Nars Light Reflecting Foundation in here. I love this. This is my favorite foundation from Nars. It's so beautiful on the skin. And I cannot put this down like the e.l.f. Camo Cc. And I am in the shade Marquise. I have a full review on this foundation if you are interested. I do have this little sample size of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I just wanted to use this up, so I had this in here. I love that I have this in here because having the big one takes up space, so this is perfect. So for concealer, I just have a couple of options. So I have the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the matte finish. I'm in the shade Deep Chestnut. I have the One Size Concealer in the shade Dark One Neutral. This is literally one of my favorites as well. I have the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum, and this is in the shade Sand. I use that to kind of like brighten up a lot. And then I have the Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealers, which y'all already know. I love this. It's so good. Oh, I'm so happy I like bought this while it was on sale at Ulta because I love them. So I use two shades. I use 70 in Y and 60 in N. One is to really brighten, but it's not like, they're pretty similar, but like I like to use this to go like brighten even further. But they're so beautiful on the skin and I love it. Let's get into this section right here. My cream and powder blushes, which you guys know is my favorite, so I have a lot. So I do have these two cream blushes. So I have Summertime Wine and Rose Latte. So let me show you guys. Make sure I have a good angle so you guys can see. So this is Summertime Wine. And then we have Rose Latte. Rose Latte is like an everyday kind of shade. This one's newer to my collection, but I love it. It's so good. So good. I love it. Obsessed. These are pretty sheer. I like to have them as like a starting base with my blush routine. And then I have the Nars Liquid Blush in Dolce Vita. You guys, I love this. It's so good. This is my favorite shade. I do wish that Nars would come out with more liquid blush shades. It kind of sucks that they only have 3. But out of the 3, this one is definitely my favorite one. I have my MAC blush in the shade Raisin. You guys, this is one of the prettiest blushes ever. I love this blush so much. It is so pretty. Look at that. I just get so excited every time I swatch that because I'm like, so pretty. It's a cult favorite too, so that's probably why, but I love it. This is the Mented Clay Too Much blush. I love this as well. This is kind of like a dupe for the MAC Raisin, but I would say this one's a little bit lighter, just like a tad bit lighter. And I do have to build this one up a little bit more to really get the full color payoff that I want with this blush, but I love it. Then I have my Huda Beauty Glowish blush in here in the shade Charming Cherry. I love this, and to say this is a powder blush, this lasts a very long time. I love using this with my makeup. It's so good, and I hope that Huda comes out with more blushes like this because I really love this formula. 2 e.l.f. Putty blushes right here. I don't know what shades these are, but They're really pretty. These are my favorite kind of tones for blushes. Lastly, for like liquid cream blush, I have these two right here from Made by Mitchell. These are the blushes. So I have this shade in here called a Shy Boy. I also have another one that's like on the other side. So this is a Shy Boy. I swatched that so wrong. Let's do it here. So this is a Shy Boy. And then this one right here is Cherry Cola, which is pretty similar, but it's a little bit deeper. I like to use both of those for every day. They're just really pretty blush shades. This other one, which is on the opposite side, is the shade Where's the SPF. Literally the prettiest orangey red shade ever, especially for deeper complexions. I love this blush. It's so pretty. So those are the three Made by Mitchell blushes I chose to have in here. I love them. They are literally my favorite. Seriously, such really pretty blushes. So I do have two mascaras in here. I'm just trying to filter through my mascara, so I just picked two. So the two that I just picked were the Maybelline Sky High mascara, and then the Benefit Roller Lash mascara. And then in here, I just have some brow products. So I have my Juvia's Place Brow Pencil. I have my Benefit Pomade in the shade 5, my Nars Concealer in the shade Amandi, the e.l.f. Brow Lift, and then I just have some tools. My favorite black liner for the waterline is from Too Faced. This is the Killer Liner in the shade black, of course, but look at how black this is. It lasts such a long time. I love it. So under the primers, I have my cream bronzers, which you guys know I live for cream bronzer. So I have the Say cream bronzer, which is seriously one of my favorites. I love it. As you guys can see from the dent, I use the shade Deep Bronze. I also have my Anastasia cream bronzer in the shade Chestnut. You guys know, if you know, you know how much I love this cream bronzer. It is ridiculous how much I've used this. I definitely think the dent says it all. And then for a powder bronzer, I have the Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade Deep. Mine is dirty, so you have to excuse it. But that lets you guys know how much I love this bronzer. It's so pretty for every day. Down here, I just have two single highlighters. I have the Jaclyn Putty highlighter in the shade Sun Lover. Look at how much I have used this one. It's so pretty, you guys. It reminds me of the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow highlighter, but it's so pretty on the skin. And I also have the Alamar Cosmetics La Playa highlighter. So buttery and smooth. I love these two. So I picked these two to have in here out of all the highlighters. As far as like singles, I do have a highlighter palette in here, which I will show you. And then down here, because they couldn't fit up here, are my two bronzers, or like cream blonde bronzer and like contour. So I have the Made by Mitchell Blush in the shade Shade and Laid. And then I have the Rare Beauty bronzer stick in the shade Full of Life, which you guys know I have been loving. If you guys have seen my more recent videos or my TikToks, because do got a lot of that on there. Let's get into the mess that is down here, because I tried to put all of my favorite products in here and it was super hard because they couldn't fit on the side. So, you know, I tried my best, okay? I tried my best. So let's see how to do this. So for powder, let's get into the powders. So I have, of course, like this is a no-brainer, my Jaclyn Cosmetics Under Eye Brightening Palette. This shade right here, I need Jaclyn to come out with a single because it's my favorite. You guys know that. I know I'm going to hit pan on this year, and I will repurchase this just for this shade. But low-key, I need to really get use out of these because I do not touch these shades. I don't know what I would use these two bottom shades for, but this shade I need to get into. I just like this one because it has like that yellowy kind of undertone. And by the way, this is the deepest palette. The setting powders I have in here, I have quite a few. I like to have a little bit of options. So of course I have my Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder in the shade Kanafa. I cannot not have this powder in here. It's my favorite. It's literally my favorite setting powder. And I also have my Hailey's Beauty Retouch setting powder in here. This one is also my favorite setting powder. I love it. It's beautiful. It blurs. Like this is a powder that instantly like blurs and you truly see a difference. The Huda Beauty one is just good for everything. It's like, it's literally my favorite. But this one right here is something about this one. It just really looks like a filter. So if you could get any setting powder, I really think you guys should check these two out for real if you haven't. these two are my ride or dies. I have the Nars loose setting powder in the shade Mesa in here. You guys know I've been loving this to, you know, help clean up the contour and, you know, brighten up under everything and clean everything up. So I love this for that. It just is like an undetectable setting powder. To set all over the face, I have my Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Pecan. Do you guys see that little dent in that? I need to, this is like a project pan for me this year. I need to pan this, so I'm just having this everywhere that I am so I can like really hit pan, because I've never hit pan on anything before. So that's something I have for myself this year that I really want to do. So I do have one highlighter palette in here. It is my Tatianna Anesa Cosmetics Get Lit highlighter palette. I have literally been using this like crazy. It's such a beautiful formula, you guys. I'm telling you, I highly recommend this. It's a palette for literally everyone, but if you feel like there's some shades that are too deep for you, when I tell you it's like one of the prettiest inner corner highlights ever, like even this shade is really, really light. Like it's not something I would put on my face, but as an inner corner highlight, girl, it's beautiful. And like rosé is like a pink toned kind of shade. Whenever I do like a pink-ish like tone lip, I use this as my inner corner highlight. It's so pretty. I do use these four on my face, but these two are beautiful inner corner highlights. I've been using rosé a lot as my inner corner, but I'm just gonna show you guys how beautiful this palette is. It's literally so pretty. I'm trying to find some room. Like, look at the glow. Can we like talk about the glow of my highlighter? It just looks like a lit from within kind of glow, and I love it. It's so pretty. Love it. You guys can get this on ta-cosmetics.com if you are interested. My other bronzer I have in here is my Morphe Supreme bronzer. This is another bronzer I'm like aiming to hit pan on. I don't know if you guys could see my dent in it, but I'm really aiming to hit pan on this. I have had this for about 2 years. I got this when I was living in California, and it is used and abused, but this is one of my favorite bronzers I have in my collection. I have a backup, even though I have no idea if I'm ever gonna finish this, but yeah, so I love this. It's literally my favorite bronzer from Morphe. It's so good. So for blush, because you guys know I love a lot of blush, I like to have options. I do have the Jaclyn Cosmetics Rouge Romance blush palette in here. You guys, I love this palette. I don't know if you guys could tell what my two favorite shades are, but it's these two, and then in the summer, it's usually this one. But yeah, I like to get use out of all the shades. These two I don't really gravitate to, but those four, oh, stunning. Then I have the Juvia's Place Volume 1 little palette, the highlighter, oh my god, the blush duo. Love this as well. This had to be in here, of course, because how could it not? I was debating to put the Juvia's Place like bronzers in here, but I was like, you know what? No, I tried to like filter through my makeup because I use those a lot, but I low-key might pull them out because I miss them. But yes. Okay, and then the last blush palette I have is the new Nars Afterglow blush palette. This is my favorite blush palette from Nars. You guys know how much I've been loving this. These three shades, obsessed. I'm just starting to get more use out of this one because I'm starting to like transition into more red tone blushes, and I love it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this shade. I haven't touched that shade. This shade I haven't touched either, but I might use this for a look. I don't know. Lastly, for blush, I have these two Jaclyn Cosmetics loose blushes. I have gotten so many compliments on my TikToks and my Instagram photos, and I got a lot of comments asking what blush I'm wearing, and it's always these two that are like really like sealing the deal. The two shades I chose to put in here are LOML and Loverboy. You guys, I love this. In my last video, I'm wearing Loverboy with the Fenty Cream Blush in Summertime Wine, and I'm also wearing something else. Oh, and the Jaclyn Cosmetics blush palette. So I've been layering blush lately, so if you guys ask me what blush I'm wearing, be prepared for like 3 answers. I have my Tula Glowy SPF. How can I not have this? I love this. This is lasting me so long, and I love it. Love, love, love this. It's so great for glowiness. This with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter is a lot, to be honest. So it's kind of hard to use both because that's a lot of glow for you, girl. But I love them, and I always have to have this on. It's so good. For sprays, I have the Haley Beauty Refresh Setting Spray. I love this because it's a priming spray and a setting spray, and I basically like to use this how I would use my MAC Fix Plus, which I am like almost done with this. So I have this in here so I could finish this up. I will be repurchasing another one because this is one of my favorites. I'm starting to really get my favorites together of setting sprays and what I prefer and just stick with those. I have so many setting sprays, but this year I really want to get through just about a good bit of them so I can just stick with the ones that I love and really, really work for me, because some of them don't do anything at all. So I'm like, really, now that I've just been focusing on these 3 sprays, I can really see what they're doing for me and seeing a difference. So, because usually I'll just like use a different setting spray every day, but I can't really see what it does for me. But since I stick to just a couple at a time, then I can really get a feel for them. This setting spray will always be in my makeup collection. Look at how much I've used. Love this, love this, love this, love this. And lastly in here, I have these little Colourpop Quads because these are neutrals. So whenever I have like I just literally take one of these with like a brown in the crease and like a little cream shade on the lid, and I'm good to go out the door. These are really good for easy looks. I don't know why I have this purple one in here. I just haven't used it yet, and I really want to use it because it's so pretty. But yeah, I just wanted to get some use out of those. But I really gravitate to the all matte ones a lot. This right here, I usually have in here at the bottom, but I do have moisturizer, of course. So I've been using the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Hydro Gel Moisturizer. I love this. It's really, really good. Love that it comes in an airtight pump too. I have my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, of course. Thanks, and shout out to Elnegs. And then I also have the NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Jelly Primer. I don't really use this as a primer. I use this more so as a moisturizer, but it does have some priming benefits as well, which I do love. That is everything that is in here. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.